Hi guys, sorry about that. I had to go take a call real quick. Okay, so we're going to finish up our last couple submissions for book recommendations, and then I'll decide from there. But again, I will definitely be saving all these for future references. I literally have over 70 books, so I need to read. Goodness, I laughed so hard. I started coughing. My goodness. I did want to show off a little bit on my outfit. So I am wearing like a Chinese inspired top. It's my school colors, which is great. Got flowers and a little bun in my hair. But I've had this good luck charm. I used to have a crystal, which I still have in my treasure box. But I've had this since middle school. I got it at Claire's ages ago when I was like 12 or 13. Love it. And then I got this medallion, which has butterflies here at Disney World when I went with Marissa and Kat about a year and a half ago. So I thought I'd be wearing them to just give me some good luck and prosperity, since I can't eat good luck oranges since I'm allergic. Okay, the next one is from Julie. You guys know Julie. She does fan art. She's my sister from another mister. We do videos together. Great time. Socks is just getting into my bag, so that's what you hear there. Okay, and she has chosen for me a series called Dante Valentine, and it's by Lilith Sage Crow, which I don't know if that's an alias, but either way, that is a BA author name. St. Crow. I love that. But Dante Valentine. And let's read a little bit about it. It is a New York Times bestseller. And has the full, like a complete series in an omnibus. I think there's 5 books in this omnibus. So that's really awesome. Okay. So it says Necromancer, Bounty Hunter, Killer. That sounds like Julie. Dante Valentine has been all 3 in her life. But in the beginning, she was a necromancer for hire. And while she was choosy about her jobs, there were just some she couldn't turn down. Like when the devil showed up at the door and offered her a deal, her life, in exchange for the capture and elimination of a renegade demon. But how do you kill something that can't die? Dante Valentine, one of the urban fantasy's hottest series, is compiled into the volume for the first time, included in the omnibus edition of Working for the Devil, Dead Man Rising, The Devil's Right Hand, Saint City Sinner, and To Hell and Back. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3. Yep, that's 5 in one book. And the book was only $9. So I gotta say, socks. Sorry. Come on, baby, get down. I gotta say that's an amazing deal. I'm not sure how big the book is, but still, 5 books in one is really incredible. It is also available on ebook and MP3 CD, which I'm not sure I ever used an MP3 CD, so that's kind of interesting. But I'll definitely have to look into that. And I like that a lot of these are audiobooks, and now that I'm in the world of audiobooks now, I can see the importance of them. So definitely something to consider. So that's Dante Valentine by Lilith St. Crow. Gosh, I love that name. Thank you, Julie. Okay, so Marissa, my best friend, she gave me her favorite author, which I knew her favorite author already, Nicholas Sparks. And I picked the one that I thought was her favorite, but then later she told me there's a different one that's her favorite. So I was like, oh. So I printed out the one that she used to tell me was her favorite, but now it's a different one, which is called True Believer. And I've actually read that one. It's not a movie, but I do highly recommend it. It is a good one. The one I picked that I assumed was her favorite was Nights in Rodesh. I always say the name wrong. This one. But she always gets every new Nicholas Sparks book. So I have seen all of the current Nicholas Sparks one, except for one that was like a TV movie. And last Valentine's Day, I actually watched them all and ranked them for my top 10. And then like a week later, Watch Mojo did it. And I was kind of like, oh, Watch Mojo, what are you doing? But we agreed on the top 2. So that was and we were agreed on the worst the least best one and the top two. So I was like, yes. So they stole that from me. Watch Mojo totally stole that from my blog post. But yeah, so that was fun. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and read the synopsis just in case you have not seen the film. And of course, you know, the books are always better is what I'm told. I have tried to read a couple Nicholas Sparks books. I even own Walk to Remember. My grandma bought it for me. I guess I just picked the wrong 2 or 3. They were ones that were not based on films. Because his style is fine. I just couldn't get into him, I guess. I did like True Believer, but that I did listen to as an audiobook. So maybe that made things a little bit easier. My local library doesn't have too many Nicholas Sparks books. I'll have to go back and look. I've read or listened to almost all the Danielle Steele that they have. They have like 50 something. I think I've listened to 41 now. And she just released like 2 new books since I've been back to the audiobook section in my local library. So I'll have to go back into that. All right. Let's read about Nicholas Sparks. Nights at Rodenshi, whatever it is. I know I'm saying it wrong. I'm sorry. Okay. Struggling to care for her sick father and raise her teenage children alone, a divorced mother spends the weekend at the North Carolina Inn only to meet a former surgeon running from his past. Okay. Adrian Willis is 45 and has been divorced for 3 years, abandoned by her husband for a younger woman. The trials of raising her teenage children and caring for her sick father have worn her down. But at the request of a friend and in hopes of respite, she's gone to the coastal village of Rodenshi, I'm terrible at names, in North Carolina. Fun fact, Nicholas Sparks is from North Carolina. To attend the local inn for the weekend. With a major storm brewing, the time away doesn't look promising until a guest named Paul Flanner arrives. At 54, Paul is a successful surgeon, but in the previous 6 months, his life has unraveled into something he doesn't recognize. Estranged from his son and recently divorced, he sold his practice and his home and his journey to this isolated town in hopes of closing a painful chapter in his past. Adrian and Paul come together as the storm brews over the city. Over the area. But what begins between them over the weekend will resonate throughout the rest of their lives, intertwining past and future, love and loss. So I don't remember the sick father being in the movie. I know the kids were there and the divorce was there. The reveal with the surgeon, Paul, was engaging. I remember that. The ending. The ending. I'm not surprised by the ending. There's like 3 of his movies that really got me that I'm not surprised they happened, but they still got me. And this was one of them, for sure. So definitely a good read. Like I said, it's got love and loss, past and future. Definitely good. I don't remember what I ranked it on my list. I think it was probably in the middle, but definitely good. So I do recommend Nicholas Sparks books. I do recommend the movies as well. Marissa would tell you, obviously, read the books. And I respect that. But yeah, so I did like the movie, and I do like the premise of this. I like his works. I like romances. I especially like that they are about people that aren't necessarily like teenagers or fresh young adults, even though I love those stories too. I relate to those. I write those. But it's fun to have characters that are a little bit older. So definitely give this one a shot. Okay, and then my mother-in-law recommended this one to me, and I did read this, and I was just like, I have to admit, this one really spoke to me. Okay, it's called Guilty Pleasure, so I wasn't sure what I was getting into when I read this. I was like, what is my mother-in-law sending me? It's by Laurel K. Hamilton, and it is a bestseller. Okay, it says, Laurel K. Hamilton's bestseller series has captured readers' wildest imaginations and addicted them to a seductive world where supernatural hungers collide with the desires of the human heart, starring a heroine like no other. I like that. I like that tagline. Very enticing. Anita, and I love that name. It's a gag name from Hunter and Bringer if you've read my series. Anita Blake is small, dark, and dangerous. Her turf is the city of St. Louis. That hooked me. Her job, reanimating the dead and killing the undead who take things too far. But when the city's most powerful vampire asks her to solve a series of vicious slayings, Anita must confront her greatest fear, her undetainable attraction to master vampire Jean-Claude, one of the creatures she has sworn to destroy. Okay, another monster story, another love story, Romeo and Juliet plot device. But I don't know. It sounded so good. And it's in St. Louis. I love when I've been to a city and I can connect to it. Or when the city comes alive. Like the House of Night is all in Tulsa. Except for the couple times they've traveled like to Europe. But it's mostly set in Tulsa. Because that's where the authors are from. And they make it come to life. And I love that. Whoa, hello, socks. So I was really surprised by this submission from my mother-in-law. I knew she liked fantasy. But I always thought it was more like wizard type fantasy. I can't think of the, like dragons and wizards and stuff like that. But this sounds really good. So, this guilty pleasure might be a guilty pleasure. And again, I wrote Hunter and Bringer, so I can kind of see some similarities in that. All right, and then our last one is from my friend Sandra. Sandra's whole family is Team Kikek. That's her last name. She's the one that submitted this to me, though. So thank you, Sandra. It's a trilogy. And this is from the Elliott Family Trilogy. And the first book is called The Bird in the Tree. And let's read a little bit about it. The matriarch of the family, Lucilla, has spent a lifetime making the Hampshire estate of, Demerose a haven for the Elliots. When her favorite grandson David falls in love with a woman who belongs to another, Lucilia sees her most cherished ambitions put at risk. But can she persuade David and Nadine to put duty before love? All right, so I like a little romantic scandal. It seems like it might be set in the past, but not too far in the past. Forbidden romance. There's not a lot in the blurb, but I definitely kind of like that. It's always interesting to see characters who run a family because they think they're doing what's best for the family, but then, of course, it's not really best for the individual in their family. You see that plot a lot, but it's done a lot because it's a very compelling and very realistic, especially back in the day, concept thing that people went through. And now, kind of with Encanto being so popular, I could see that as well. Downton Abbey, things like that. I like a good, simple historical family values story as well. That sounds really good. So thank you, Sandra. All of these, and I'm not lying, all of these sounded good. I thought I was going to get something that I'd be like, oh gosh, I don't like this and I don't know how to be mean about it. But I'm going to have to pick, and it's going to be really hard. It's going to be really hard, guys. Wow. I'm going to have to pick 3 for now. I will save these all for the future, though. For sure. In 5 years, if I don't buy any more new books. But, that's not going to happen. Okay. I think I know which ones. Oh, man. These are all so good. They're all so good, guys. I'm really conflicted here. I might have to do a top 5. Because I got 4 for sure. But I will say for Pride and Prejudice, Sarah, I will definitely get the manga. And you can tell me how, we can read it together maybe and see how close it is. And I do want to watch also the movie that everybody, I think it was made in the late 90s, early 2000s, that everybody loves. I do need to watch that. So that one is a guaranteed for a different reason. So I will definitely do that. Oh my goodness. It's really fleeting, guys. This is so hard. Man, these, I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna do just because all of these are kind of similar. So I can't pick between these. So I'm gonna do my top 3 and then a runner-up. How about that? Okay. So my runner-up will be 19 Minutes by Jodi Picoult. Obviously, I've been actually wanting to read this book for quite a few years. I'm interested in some of her works. And I just read a story about a school shooting. I actually have written a short story about school shooting. It's only available on Wattpad just because since I work as a teacher, I didn't want to like offend anybody with it. And I got pretty detailed, to be honest, because you hear about it. So anyway, if you want to read that, it's on Wattpad. If you look up Morgan Strong Comic, it's the only one on there. Only Wattpad story I have. So you're more than welcome to read that. So this is one I definitely will consider. There's other Jodi Picoult novels that I've considered as well, but I think this one's always stuck out to me, and the fact that Mrs. Moore did recommend this, and she's a teacher I cherish, and she supports me, this will definitely be number 4, so it'll be my runner-up to consider. So thank you for that submission. Okay. Okay, I think for my number 3, I'm going to go with Mom's Knight in Shining Armor. Like I said, I remember seeing this book on her bookshelf or her counter, or I think Grandma's probably borrowed it because Grandma loves stuff like this. My mom's mom. For as long as I can remember. So I definitely would consider this. I do like medieval times. I love romance. I love fate. All that stuff. It sounded very whimsical and magical. I don't know the rating, but I mean, I'm an adult, but I don't know the rating for other people. And like I said, for this book to be around and still have the same cover for all these years, it's got to be good. So this would be my number 3 choice. So definitely something to consider. Or if I can find the audiobook, I definitely would love to start jumping in and listening to this. In fact, since most of these have audiobooks, that would definitely be something to consider. I need to get Audible. It probably won't be until after all my Kickstarter stuff because I got to save money for advertisement. But yeah, so thank you, Mom. So I think that will be A Knight in Shining Armor. We'll go for number 3. And then for my number 2, I'm going to go with Julie's pick of Dante Valentine. She just reminds me of Val. And it's got, looks like monsters and forbidden romance and all kinds of cool stuff. And for 5 books in an omnibus for like $9, that's amazing. So that's also a really good deal. And also, I don't know what MP3 is, but I would consider reading this one. So thank you, Julie, for submitting that for my number 2. So I think the one I am going to buy, though, to show off next month is Jolene's. So Guilty Pleasures, right here. I mean, it's set in St. Louis. We've got monsters, we got vampires, we got seduction. Sounds like a really good time. So thank you, Jolene, for the submission. I will be purchasing this book next month and then showing it off. All right, thank you guys so much for all your submissions. You guys are wonderful shining stars. Keep on shining. Be safe out there if you're from the icy area. And know that I love and appreciate you. And stay tuned for Kickstarter news coming super, super soon. Maybe later today. All right. And again, Gong Kei Fat Choi. Happy Chinese New Year. Mwah. Tiger love. Bye.